MetroPolitics on Jewish Week TV. I'm Adam Dickter. I'm here in Lower Manhattan with the Speaker of the New York State Assembly, Sheldon. Thank you very much for being with us today. How are you?
Delighted to be with you and your viewers.
Thank you very much. How are things up in Albany? How's the budget process going?
It's going rather slowly. Seems to be, well, not seems to be, New York faces a $9.2 billion deficit. The governor has put out a budget that makes significant cuts and raises significant revenue. Many of the members believe that this is not the time to raise revenue, that people are struggling from economic times and they are earning less, some unemployed, and they shouldn't be paying more for government service.
Right. How bad do you expect the impact to be on social services and programs like programs for the elderly and most vulnerable?
Well, we have tried to, protect the most vulnerable. Unfortunately, our budget comes with the city budget looming, and the mayor's indicated significant cuts to senior care and things of that nature. So the public may not understand. We are trying to hold senior citizens and vulnerable people harmless from budget cuts, but the cumulative impact of us and the mayor's budget may cause some damage in those areas.
No, sure. You've heard former Mayor Ed Koch has put together a coalition called Citizens Uprising. He's upset about the incumbents constantly being reelected. He wants to change the way districts are run so that people will not be so easily reelected. What is your reaction to that?
Ed Koch, is a former mayor, as you said. He has given a lot in terms of Congress and being the mayor. I'm not sure he fully understands the process. One of the things that is essential is that we go out to the public, have hearings, talk about the need for communities to stay intact. I don't believe that a bunch of professors sitting and drawing lines is going to be able to do that. Additionally, his group is, has two inconsistent planks right in their proposal. On the one hand, they say reapportionment shouldn't be done based on voter registration or it shouldn't even be identified. On the other hand, they say the district should be made as competitive as possible. How do you make them competitive as possible if you have no idea of the voting tendency of the people? The reality is that you're not going to hide the fact that no matter who draws lines, the people think in a particular way. But I'm meeting with Ed Koch, as a matter of fact, next Tuesday to talk about it. He's an old friend. He was my congressman when I started out here, and I supported him for mayor. I supported him for governor, as a matter of fact. So he and I have a long history and a long relationship.
In the last few years, we've seemed to see scandal after scandal in Albany, from Hevesi to Spitzer and Governor Patterson and now Pedro Espada. Is there something wrong with the political culture? And Joseph Bruno, is there something wrong with the political culture? How can people not lose faith in their leaders?
Well, there are two things. Number one, Albany doesn't select the members who represent the districts. I can tell you there are 210 legislators, and by and large they are hardworking, honest elected officials who are dedicated to represent the people that they're elected to represent. Some communities have had elected officials who have had criminal difficulty and have come back and been reelected by their communities. Again, Albany doesn't elect people. Look across the country at a variety of positions in the public and private sector, and you'll find a percentage of people who don't obey the law. I mean, that's just, it's an occurrence in our times. It's not confined to Albany. We do ethics training. We show conflicts, but people are inclined to do things regardless of the law. They do it. That's why we have penalties in the law. If everybody was conforming, we wouldn't outlaw anything.
Anticipate Andy Cuomo being the candidate for governor?
I believe Andrew Cuomo will be the next governor of New York.
You're supporting him?
And I am supporting him. He's a longtime friend.
I think Senator Gillibrand has done a good job.
I think she's done a great job, actually. I think she's been in touch. She's talked to people. She's learning the statewide needs of people, and she's moderated a lot of her views from when she represented a particular congressional district, and I think she will go down as one of the best senators New York has ever had, given the time to grow into the job.
A lot of American Jews are upset about President Obama's policy in the Middle East. Do you think that, is your sense that the people who are most upset are people who didn't vote for him anyway? Or do you think that he's lost a lot of support? How will that affect the Jewish support, the traditional Jewish adherence to the Democrat?
Well, let me say this. I'm upset by what I read in the newspapers about the way in which was treated Bibi Netanyahu and the whole issue of Israel. His statements aren't, especially his latest statements are, he understands the special relationship, he will support and defend security. I talk to Senator Schumer on a regular basis about it. I think he's getting more active because he's getting frustrated by the U.S., the public relations aspect of what the U.S. is asking us to do. And there's a fundamental principle here, and that is if you're going to create an environment for peace and negotiations, allow the parties to negotiate. Don't set the preconditions of the negotiation. I mean, the settlement issue, it is not up to the United States to say, before you enter peace talks, give up everything that you could possibly negotiate. And that's the fundamental flaw in what is coming out here. Elliot Engel, congressman from the Bronx, and I talk regularly on it. He's very agitated by the administration policy. He speaks to them regularly, and he and I talk about it on a regular basis. I hope that we can shift the perceptions that are out there, because I don't think it's a matter of the Democratic Party. I think it's a matter of the individuals. I think Chuck Schumer is a friend of Israel. Senator Gillibrand has expressed support, and the congressional delegation in New York, by and large, has been almost unanimous in its support of Israel. So I think the public will perceive them as being strong friends, and the idea is to change the public relations aspect of this administration and their comments about Israel.
The Assembly has passed the Markey bill, which calls for extension of the statute of limitations for people who are filing suits or criminal complaints for sexual abuse. Some Jewish organizations, and I believe the Catholic Diocese, is concerned that this bill could essentially bankrupt some of the organizations by having to fight lawsuits dating back years ago where people might not even work for them anymore. What is your answer to that?
These are horrendous horrendous allegations. They've been proven across the country, across the world. And people's lives have been ruined. And I think it is fair. Remember, the burden of proof is on the claimant. And it's just as hard to prove a case that's 30 years old. I think there should be an open window. I think people should settle their own inner feelings. And their lives, in many cases, have been ruined. And the people responsible for it should be called upon to pay for it. Their climate of, don't ask, don't tell, and trying to drive people out of the neighborhood who complained or out of the community is unacceptable. And if there's responsibility, we did an opener like this on the use of Agent Orange in Vietnam. People were able to claim, because of their deterioration of their health as a result of it. Nobody looked and said, gee, what's going to happen to the defendant in these cases, or what's their circumstance? The fact remains that people were wrong, people were harmed, and people are entitled to some way in which to recoup some part of their life.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Pleasure. Thank you.